I'm live. Hello, everybody. I don't know. Is there anybody here? There's one person. I don't know what the view is going to look like. My first live stream from my new setup. So welcome in, everybody. That's such a skewered look. Sorry, I didn't sort of prepare my camera before I went on here. Okay, so I'm back. And it was getting to me. I have to admit, it was getting to me. I was having trouble doing videos, and it's getting a little better. I got to tell you, well, there's not too many people here, and it seems like I lost one. Anyway, I always talk about the hockey guy. So this is for people that are watching on replay because there's not too many people here right now. He's kind of my mentor. He's like 10 years younger than me, so it's kind of weird. But I got into doing this because of the hockey guy. And I watched a video of his yesterday. He was talking about what's going on and about his attitude towards it, his attitude towards making videos, his attitude towards the season that's probably going to get fully canceled, but might not yet. Still might not be. And it kind of almost got me turned around because I got to rewatch that video because I get his point of view. It almost jump-started me. Came close. I'm close to being back to normal, but I just put out a video, so anybody here who's interested, when you do leave the chat, I mean, it's a 90-minute chat. I don't expect everyone to stay right through, obviously. You might want to check that out. It's about Max Domi. I tried to take a look and see if I could figure out what his value is going to be. He's an RFA for next season, so they got to sign him in the off season. I was trying to figure out what his value is, so I looked at all his seasons. Try to figure out what kind of a player he is, if he's last year's 72-point guy or this year's 44-point guy. What is he? So, yeah, check that out. Thanks, Wolverine. Welcome in. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm in the new room. When there's more people in here now, I see there's 6 already. Wow. I'll give it a little bit of a scan around. Much bigger room. I'm in basically it's my living room. So it's pretty big, and I hope it doesn't sound too hollow. I'm going to hear it on playback. I'll start putting more things on the walls to sort of muffle the sound a bit so that you get a better tone from it. I think I got to put my camera a little higher. It's going to take a second, so if you guys have a little bit of patience. Yeah, I think I got to use one of these. Gotta be careful here. Sorry, guys. Just give me a sec. I'll get that camera in a better view. I think. Okay, let's come up here a bit. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit more dead on instead of me it was looking up at me. I don't like that. Okay, Mike is in the room. Hey, Mike, I got a mod in the room already. All right. Yeah, so this is my new room. How many? We got 4. I already dropped 2. So you can see, that's all my personal stuff. You don't need to see that. Yeah, so you see, so I can shoot now in front of that Habs blanket there. And I can shoot behind me. I've got to see my laptop is there. That's a stand, so I can stand and do videos. And then I can sit here at the desk and do my live streams. Still looks weird. I'm going to get used to it, I guess. And do my live streams from here. So it's a little more functional. So, yeah, I kind of like it. Joe is in the room. Got 2 mods in the room already. All right. Joe's going crazy, having to stay inside, bored. It's not funny. It's not. Can't see any of our friends. No, nobody can. Not even the girlfriend dying over here. Listen, it's listen, the girlfriend part, that's tough. I gotta admit, that's a tough one. For everything else, look, everyone's going through the same thing. It looks like we're gonna be in it for a little bit longer too. So yeah, it's called stir crazy. You gotta get out, take walks. Even if you're not a person that usually walks because you're busy and you do all kinds of other things, now we're kind of stuck. And in Quebec, they're locking us down as of midnight tonight. Non-essential businesses are not open. So it means we're basically on a very light lockdown. And apparently gatherings of 2 people or like more than 2 people now. Verboten, as they say in German. So yeah, you can't have more than 2 people together at any one time, and unless you're a family in your house in isolation. So yeah, it's not fun for anybody, buddy. I feel for you, but I mean, we're all going through the same thing, really. You know, it's not against anybody in particular, but yeah, what's with my camera now? It's dropping on its own. There's a ghost in here. Yeah. Okay, so let me get back to you guys. What do we got? Only 3 people in here. So what we got? Mike, Joe, and Zachary. Zachary, what happened to Wolverine? David's in the room too. Thanks everybody. If I can say thanks everybody for coming in. Appreciate it. I think David. I think most people are lounging at home these days. I got to tell you, I walk my dog 4 times a day. So I usually walk her at night, like around midnight. There's normally not too many people out. But all the other ones, except if I go out around 6, which I did today, there's more people. But when I go at 7, there's hardly anybody. And in the morning and at night, there's nobody. The streets are pretty much empty. Yeah, it's very surreal. I guess is the right word for it, surreal. So yeah, oh, I forgot to show you the best part of my new room. I'm going to just twist you around. This is my monitor. Nope, that's not my, oh, I'm going the wrong way. That's my couch. Oh, it's, you know why? This is swinging the wrong way. I don't know if you can see. That's my monitor. Oh, look how many it goes. Look at the size of that thing. It's actually, ooh, everybody getting dizzy? It's a TV, 39-inch TV that, amazingly, I hooked up my computer to it. And when you're using a TV for a monitor, you have trouble usually with the sizing so that you get everything in the right way. This one, perfect. When I had my laptop on I had a smaller TV I was using. I just wanted a bigger screen, so I had the laptop in there. And I couldn't get it the exact right size. And then when I put this one up, I had it on the smaller TV as well, and I was missing a little bit of the bottom. Plug this one in to this TV, and it is like perfect. It fits in perfect. So yeah, it's like weird to have this huge monitor, and I'm kind of liking it. So I don't know. Nobody wants to come into the room besides you 4 guys. So what's up with you guys? Hopefully everybody is doing well. And yeah, David, I see you saying we can watch the NHL replays for free. I think all the sports are doing that now. They're putting out games. They're helping to keep people entertained. Besides, they don't want anybody to forget them. Not that we're going to forget them, but so yeah, Mike, that's a good one. Habs haven't lost in almost 3 weeks. All right, and they're going to be at least 3 more. 3 more. I believe the NHL announced today that they're going to push this suspension to April 6th, and I also heard that it's possible that right after that, when they reach a new decision on April 6th, they're going to have to relook at it, but they're going to cancel the rest of the regular season. Now, that's not the playoffs, but the rest of the regular season. I do believe the playoffs are going to get canceled. I do believe that. I have no proof. I just think it's going to get that bad where they're not going to be able to come back in time to do it. We're going to have to see. But yeah, I think the regular season is done. That's why I did the report card video, because the regular season is done. I can give the report for the season, and yeah, go Leafs, go! Well, listen, Zachary, I think you're a Leafs fan, and which is great. It's fine, but at least this year they're not going to get knocked out of the first round and disappoint you guys. So, but listen, Zachary, please don't start doing that where you repeat. Don't do that again. We talked about it last time. So, but yeah, goalies go. At least they're not going to lose in the first round to Boston. I don't think they would have played Boston in the first round, but I mean, they're not going to lose in the first round. Mike, that's exactly it. And did you see for the essential things, the stores and stuff that can stay open, the liquor commissions and the pot shops are allowed to stay open. They're part of the whatchamacallit, the essential. And it's essential. Listen, you're going to need to drink. You're going to need to smoke pot. I mean, we're stuck inside. We're going to go nuts if they take everything away from us. Well, Joe, you're gonna have to find. You're gonna have to start. I don't. You do. There's other drugs. I mean, I get it. It's tough when there's not much to do. You're stuck inside. You can't really do anything. Can't see your friends. Can't go party. Can't do whatever. It's tough. You got to do things like this. You're gonna have to maybe start. I notice a lot of people doing like these meetups online. So kind of like I'm live streaming, so you can get 7, 8 people, and you're all on camera, and you can all see each other, and it's a way to get friends together, have a beer together, whatever you do. That's what people are doing right now. Listen, this is the future, kind of. We're trending that way. We were before all this. We were trending that way to be online, be at home, talking to people online, playing games, whatever. This is kind of pushing us a little bit more towards that, unfortunately. Did I see NHL revenue down 25% this year because of the coronavirus? Well, listen, they're going to lose apparently if they can't get the playoffs in. So if the rest of the season and playoffs are canceled, they're going to lose like $300 million. That's what I had heard. And if you average that out, that's $10 million a team. Sorry. Yeah, that could affect the salary cap. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of doing a video about whether or not it's going to affect the cap next year, because if they're losing that kind of money, sorry, I'm wheezy today. I don't know why. Then something's going to happen. And if the cap goes down, not up, players have to go. So they're probably going to have extra buyouts. There's a lot of things that could happen. So, but they're also talking about if they have to get the playoffs in, to play right into September and have a late start to the next season, which is what I've been talking about that before. I talked about it a couple of times. So like everything's on the table. So I don't know where it's going to go. So, yeah, Mike is agreeing with me. It's a great time to start. But listen, you don't drink, you don't smoke. I wouldn't encourage you to do that. Although, listen, smoking pot, for anybody who's against it, I apologize but I that's what I do. I'm not a big drinker, but I have my thing that I like to do. And then when my back goes out, well, then I don't need it as much because my pain meds kick in. And then we all need a little distraction in our lives, a little bit, Gislain's in the room. Hey, Gislain, how's it going, buddy? Next year, cap roof can go down. Yeah, next year it can go down. They're talking about that, David, that there's going to be a baby boom. What are they going to call it? Like, I'm part of that. I'm right at the end of the actual baby boomers, is what they call them. That's why it's boomer remover. I'm one of the boomers. I don't know, David, if you are, but I'm like at the end of it, 63. So I think it ended in 64, maybe 65, but I'm in 63. So they're talking about it, and they're talking about what's the name going to be, and what was one I heard? COVID boomers. It'd be called the COVID generation. Maybe that's appropriate. Because think about it, all the kids that are, and there's going to be somewhat of a baby boom in 9 months, and growing, because we don't know how long we're going to be isolated like this. It's appropriate to call them COVID generation, because their generation is going to be highly affected by what's going on now, because this is a sign of the times, guys. Yes, we'll get back to normal somewhat, but there will be more like that are going to stay in place. Large gatherings might be affected by this, so sporting events might be affected by this. We'll have to see how it goes, It seems like in China, since we're talking about this, and there's not much hockey to talk about, but in China, they were down as far as numbers of cases. They were down like in the single digits. And today they started to rise again. They reported, I think maybe it was yesterday, 78. I don't know if I heard about today's numbers. And that's the second wave of it coming back. So if you all were wondering like why they're talking about it being so long that we might be isolated like this, is because of that. This thing is not going to hit us one time. It's going to come back quickly too. And it might be more than one wave. And this is why the talk of a year to 18 months of some kind of isolation like this, it might be necessary to see the whole thing through. Plus, the 18-month thing is they're quite confident that by 18 months, they'll have a vaccine for this. That's usually the length of time it takes to come up with a vaccine is usually a year to 18 months. So that's why they're talking about those kind of numbers. This thing isn't going away. If you listen to Donald Trump at all, that pumpkin-headed motherfucker, yes, I said a bad word, sorry. Talking about him, you have to. If you listen to him, it was going away. It's going to miraculously go away. And when they had 15 cases, it'll soon be 0. You see their spike of cases? It's straight up. It's not curved. There's not a curve to their spike. Their spike is straight up. But that's due to testing. Just like here in Canada, the numbers are going up, but that's because there's a lot of testing being done. The more there is testing, the more the numbers are going to rise for a certain amount of time, and then it'll even off. So the point is a lot of us are still going to get it, but by staying home and doing these kind of things, we flatten the curve so that our health care system isn't overloaded. So that I'll say myself, so that say I do get it in a couple of months, instead of getting it right now with everybody, there'll be respirators if I need. There'll be better care. There'll be hospital beds. If we all get it at once, there won't be anything. And watch the States. Watch. If anybody that's here that's from the States, I don't pray because I don't believe in a God. I'm sorry, I don't. But my thoughts are with Americans. I'm an American by birth. I'm a dual citizen, Canadian and American. But my thoughts are with you guys, because Donald Trump is already saying that by Easter Sunday, he expects to be back to normal. He is freaking loco. So sorry we're talking about this, but I'll scroll up because, by the way, if I do miss anybody's comment, please just re-comment it. And I'm not even going to say, even though I'm going to say super chats, I don't care. The super chat, at a time like this, it doesn't matter. Yes, we all need money, me included, but I don't care. But just repost, and I will definitely get to you. I'm going to do more scrolling up and down. These are special times, people. It is. It's a special time. This is like nothing I've ever seen. Joe is saying here in Quebec, we now have over 1,000 cases. That's right. We got almost 400 yesterday. Because they're testing, though, Joe. It's not nothing. It's not really anything to necessarily worry about. But because we're really heavy in the testing right now, new cases are going to go up. We're going to go up. It's just a matter of how long do they go up for. We need them to go up and then start to even off. That's the whole point. And if we all stay and do these things and self-isolate and all that, social distance, physical distancing is the better term, because you still want to, when you're walking outside, people are across the street, you got to wave and say hi, be social. I don't even know what I was going to say now. I lost it. But yeah, we have to keep doing this. That's right, because we need to stay in. That'll lower the chances of us getting it, and it'll be able to, we won't see those huge spikes. I'm telling you, if you guys, I'm sure they're going to have it online. I'm sure you can look and see on a daily basis where the U.S., how they're going up. Just a couple of days ago, they were at 14,000 new cases that day. So I imagine they're at 20, 30,000 new cases a day at this point. So yeah. And, think about it. It's only been a few months. When the Spanish flu hit and all that, it didn't kill all those people in a couple of months. It took a lot longer to do that. So you got to figure this is deadlier, and we're only at the beginning. So I can't stress it enough. I'm sorry, but I think it's important. I see people walking around. I'm on the sidewalk with the dog. They want to walk right next to me. I got to go on the road. Like, can't you see that maybe it's not a good idea to be right next to somebody right now? Somebody you don't know. You don't know where they've been. I saw a story from somebody, maybe it was on Twitter. They were shopping, And they were in line being respectful, but the person behind them wanted to be right up on them. And the guy said something like, "I'm not sick, so don't worry." And she said to him, to get him off her back, "Yeah, but you don't know if I am or not." And the guy moved back. And see, that's the whole point, right? You might think, okay, I'm okay, it doesn't matter, but you get close to somebody, but you don't know if they are sick or not. And you can get it by breathing in. So be very careful. So that's it for Dr. Rick. I doubt I'm going to talk more about it, I'm sure. But it's Dr. Rick's Tuesday night live stream. That's why I just called it Tuesday night live stream. We can talk hockey. We can talk whatever you want, really. I don't care at this point. I'm just here to be out. I took a few days off. I really needed the time off. So I should be back to normal, back to the pretty much everyday live streaming. So we'll be back to doing that. I think we all need this kind of stuff just to stay a little bit social, you know, and hopefully there'll be more people coming in. There's only 7 of you guys in here tonight, but the guys that are in here, you know, I do appreciate it. NHL hockey news just came in. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, I think because I came on at 7:30. 7:30 is probably a bad time. I think next time I'm going to make it 5 minutes after the hour or half hour, because when you're on the hour, half hour, notifications don't go out as well. There's too many. They're flooded with them. This is something I learned. So that's why you'll usually see I will rarely put out a video. I'll never put out a video on the hour or half hour. It'll always come out after or be just before. But for live streams, I don't think about that. I guess I got to scroll up because I missed something. 1918, the Spanish flu, which killed 50 million people, just died out due to unknown cause. Listen, it's a possibility, and that's probably why, David, that Donald Trump seems to think that's what's going to happen. But we have no guarantee. We don't know anything about this. And something that's different about this flu that I don't think the Spanish flu, but I don't know if they were able to know that. This flu has already, I don't know if it's a flu even, this coronavirus, has already mutated, they think, twice. So that's super quick. If this thing can keep mutating like that, it's going to be harder to make a vaccine. It's going to be harder to get a handle on. And, you know, we're, what, 7 billion people in this world? In 1919 or 1918, there were not 7 billion people in this world. So 50 million equates to a lot, maybe a half a billion. So think about that. Worldwide, we drop. Now, if you're you could be of two camps, right? If the world loses half a billion people, you could be of two camps of that. Well, it's a tragedy, yes, but the world, we needed less people in the world. So maybe that, you know, or you could be that, oh my God, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. So you could be of two minds. For me, it's a bad thing. I kind of would think both ways. The world needs less people, but it's really a lousy way to go. You don't want to see people go like that. You don't want to go like that. So am I rambling on a bit here, guys? Let me know. I'm not at the bottom because I scrolled up, but sorry, I haven't been on for a while. Haven't done videos for a while. Maybe, and you know, being stuck inside the house, kind of. I'm lucky. I've got a dog, so it gets me outside. But I'm going a little stir crazy myself, and I'm a homebody, so I like to stay home a lot. But this is a little bit too much. Now, Joe, I think, has an interesting comment. Joe's happy that he's healthy and that he's young, but he's heard recently that even healthy people are dying from this. I heard this 39-year-old woman who was fit died from it. You're 18, you're dead. Listen, the 39-year-old woman, the thing about that is, if it's the same one, she got tested for it and died before she got the results. So that's pretty bad. And the thing here is, now we don't know this for sure, but this is what they're thinking is one of the mutations, is that, and I even said to somebody that I think this goddamn thing is intelligent, because it seems to be attacking the younger people harder. They're getting sick and in ICU. Not that they're dying, but it's not like mild like we thought. You're young, you get it mild, you're going to get over it. Young people are getting it worse, and maybe because they were flouting it like, oh, well, I'm young, I don't care. Boomer remover. and this thing mutated and started to hit them. But it's so new, we don't know. Maybe that didn't happen, and it's just time was all we needed for that to happen. Speaking of that, I saw, sorry for my voice, you know how these young guys, they're on Twitter anyways, I'm seeing this, and it's probably on Facebook, they're licking toilet seats and stuff like that. So they showed one kid his video where he licks the toilet seat, and they show him in the hospital with coronavirus. And he's young. So, you know, this is what happens. You know, it's called karma, or it's the virus that's super intelligent and is mutating, but it's karma. You want to flout it like that, you're going to get it. That's what happens. That's why I was a week ahead of everybody in self-isolation. Before they said, hey, everybody needs to stay home, I was doing that for a week because I saw what was going on and I saw what they were doing elsewhere. And I thought, well, I'm going to start now because I don't want to get this. You know, I went shopping. I went shopping, I think Sunday. I went shopping Sunday. So 2 days ago. My God, is it a different? I went shopping the Saturday. I went Sunday, so not the Saturday before that. 2 Saturdays if you want to go, you know, not the day before. I went shopping, and it was before they started to say, it was like the day before they said everyone's got to stay home. They didn't have everything. There were some empty shelves, but it was normal. There were a lot of people. People were getting close to each other, weren't worried about it. 8 days later, it's like what you would see when you see in Europe when they have food rationing or shortages, and you see the news coverage of the shelves. It's what it looked like. I got what I needed, but I didn't get exactly what I wanted. There were a lot of things I couldn't get. I had to make other decisions. And yeah, that's what it's come down to. And that's what, because of hoarders, that's what no frozen vegetables or hardly any frozen fries. I got a little bit. No frozen vegetables. Fresh vegetables, but no frozen. No flour. I want to make my own bread. I'm low on flour. No flour. No toilet paper. No, I don't think any Kleenex, but they had paper towels. So, hey, you can wipe your ass with paper towels too if you need to. There's no toilet paper shortage. It's because of hoarders. Oh, that's an interesting story. I'm sorry. This might be a lot of me talking. I hope you guys don't mind. Let me know if you mind. My buddy Patty Mac told me yesterday how this toilet paper thing, people going out to get toilet paper and then give me all the toilet paper, how it started. I think it started in Australia. In Australia, they have to import all that stuff. They don't have any of that from their own making, apparently. So that was something when it happened there, they went rush. Oh, we got to get, because there might not be any coming in. It's monkey see, monkey do. The world saw that Australia, they're hoarding their toilet paper. We're doing that here when they announce it, and that's what happened. And they're hoarding, and that's where it came from. NHL hockey news. The world has plenty of room, just everyone loves cities. The world does have plenty of room, but we cannot occupy every single inch of it. We need green space. Green space clears the air, cleans the oxygen and the smog. We need green space or we won't be able to breathe. So that's one thing. Not all of it is habitable. So you can't have that. So no, we are 7+ billion people on a planet that was made for probably no more than, and I'm probably being too high on this number, but probably no more than 3 to 3.5 billion max on this, that to eat for to be able to eat without killing the planet. That's about what we should be. We're double that. So no, there's too many people. That's the sad thing about it. There's my old cat. She's going to want to get in here. I'm in the main room, so she's now she comes in here. Anyway, David, there are maybe other corona. Well, first of all, the cold is a coronavirus, in case nobody knows that, including common flu. They're all coronaviruses. The common cold is a coronavirus. Yes, Mew, I'll pick you up, but I'm wearing black, and you are going to shed all over me. Hang on. Come on, Sue. Look, come. She's old. She's 20. So there we go. This is my 20-year-old cat. Her name is Miu. So say hi, Miu. Say hi to everybody. She's 20 years old. I've had her since she's about 4 months old. Oh, she's not doing great. She's old and fragile now. She's, I hope she goes a little longer, but she's still, she's still eating and peeing and pooing without a problem. That's the big sign. She's not having any other problems. Until there's that, she's going to go as long as she can. She's 20, though. She's the oldest. I've never had an animal longer than this. When I was married, we had a 19-year-old cat that my ex-wife had before we even met. But I had her about 15, 16 years with Lou. So that was tough when we had to put her down. This one I've had like 20 years, literally the whole 20 years. And not looking forward to that day, guys. That'll be a day I don't do any videos, I can guarantee you. Where was I there? Somebody died. In France, a 28-year-old died because of, ibuprofen is not good with it. If you get it, don't take ibuprofen. I heard something about that, about you got to take Tylenol. So that's very important to know. Anybody in here? I know we're only 6, we're down. I don't know. I guess I'm not entertaining tonight. I don't know what it is. But we're going to do this every night anyway. I don't care how many. If it's just one, I'm still going to be on for 90 minutes. That's my thing. So, David, you were saying now the coronavirus is common cold. Is a coronavirus, the flu. They're all viruses. That's why at the beginning it was called novel coronavirus, because it was new. But now they've named it, so it's COVID-19. So that's the name of it. But they're all coronaviruses. So but they're different. You can't cure this one with a vaccine from the H1N1 or whatever. You can't. It's different. It has to be specific to that. But we'll get one, I'm sure, within a year or so. I think they're going to speed this one up. The flu kills. It's true. But not like this. This is a bigger killer. So there's much more reason for them to work as fast as they can to get a vaccine. I figure about a year. That's probably about as quick as they can do it. Oh boy, I'm dropping. Somebody else must have a live stream. Okay, let me get back to you guys. Boston has Kyle Kaiser, who I think is very underrated. I think he's a great goaltender. I'm missing on this. You guys must be talking with each other, or... Oh, so you're talking about backups. Yeah. I don't know those two guys, so I imagine you're talking with somebody else because the way you're wording it. Joe, this coronavirus was not from 2002. Wasn't that SARS? SARS is a coronavirus, but that's not the same thing. This is different. This is way more contagious. See, one of the problems with this virus, I'm just going to scroll down. Guys, if I missed any comments, I apologize. Just redo them, okay? Oh, yeah. The thing with this virus is a problem. The biggest problem is what is the word for that? It's super highly contagious. So it's even easier to get than all the other ones, right? It's just so highly contagious. And you're contagious before you feel sick at all. So basically within a day or two of contracting it, you're giving it out already, even though you're not feeling it yet for another couple of days. They say about 4 or 5 days. Once you get it, 4 or 5 days, and you're going to have it. But for sure within 14. That's why it's a 14-day quarantine once you have it, because it takes, you get it and it takes 14 days to work through you. So, but it typical 4 or 5 days after you contract it. So every time I go out, like I was out, I live in a building. I live in an apartment building. That's another thing. So I'm very careful. I wear gloves. It helps, but it's not perfect. And yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. I'm worried about getting it. That's all, guys. I don't want to get it. I have problems that it could not be good, and I just don't want to get it. Cute cat. Thank you, Joe. She's really old. I've got to brush her. I didn't realize she was getting some knots in her. I just cut her nails today. She scratches and gets a scab on her neck, and once that happens, I know her nails are too long. She's good, Joe. She lets me cut them. I just hold her. She eventually does. It took me about 4 times to get this over a few weeks, unfortunately, but I got them done today. It is summer in Australia, and they have cases like Canada. Yeah, no, listen, it's everywhere. There's not too many places where it hasn't hit yet, but it will. Carey Price and his family are in Tri-Cities. Oh, right now, really? Washington has the second most cases in the U.S. That's scary. Didn't he play? I believe he played for the Tri-City Americans. Am I wrong about that? When he played in the OHL? Or whatever league they're in? COVID-19 is coronavirus disease 2019. That's right. But it gives it a name. I mean, they know that's what it is. It's a name. But it's not SARS, and it's not MERS, and it's not the flu, and it's not the common cold. It's its own thing. So that's the thing. They're testing other existing drugs for a treatment. Yeah, I know. You're going to be talking about that something queen there. They're antivirals. The ones for, is it dengue fever or something like that? Or malaria. The ones they use for malaria, and then they want to add that other thing in. It is super dangerous. Here's the thing about that. They know what dose to give for malaria, and it's really close to the danger point with that drug. They don't know what dose would need for this. And if you take too much, it could cause heart attack, it could make you go blind, it could make you go deaf, it could kill you straight out for other reasons. It's not good. Somebody in the US tried on his own to dose himself and died. And his wife said it was because Donald Trump said that that's what you're supposed, looks really good. Not that he didn't say for people to do it, but that they should speed it up and get it out there. Well, that's going to make people try it if they can get their hands on it. And it killed somebody already, so. He's a piece of shit, that guy. Pumpkin-headed. MF, you know what I'm going to say. SRAS, 5 dead in Canada, in Toronto. What's SRAS? SARS. You spelled it wrong. Okay, SARS, 5 dead in Canada, in Toronto. Yeah, SARS didn't kill a lot here, I don't think. But SARS was deadly too. This is deadlier and more contagious. Joe, so I got it right. All right. See, I'm not that dumb. I know. Carey Price is from Anaheim Lake. Anaheim. I don't know. How's that pronounced? Anaheim or Anaheim? Lake in northern BC. And his mother is the chief of their tribe. So he's actually, his family is very revered, respected, very powerful in the Indian tribe that he belongs to. How do you say that? I know it's tribe. He's native. You don't say Indian anymore, so I shouldn't say that. But she's the chief of the native council of whatever native tribe he's from. I don't know what tribe he's from, but he's got a huge what is that called? Tattoo. It's okay, Shislin. I figured it out. That's it. Chloroquine. That's it, David. Yes, but David, like I just said, the dose for chloroquine for malaria is known, and you can be safe with it, but you can't take it forever. It's not like you can take it forever and ever. But they know a dose for that. But you need a higher dose for this, and if you go a lot higher, it's very dangerous. There's a lot of side effects to it. Oh my God, I got her hair everywhere. Sorry. It's just to get her hair off my nose. It sticks. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so it's if you're taking it for malaria, it's fine, but if you're taking it for this, it's not. And they're talking about mixing that, so it's this chloroquine and another antiviral, and you take them together, and apparently it looks good, but it's very dangerous, and they have to work out a dosage, and it might not be possible. I know I, for one, I don't think I want to take it, and you don't take it unless your doctor prescribes it to you. Carey Price is a Meti. It's Meti. Okay, I thought I guess I knew that. I've forgotten. Tom Brady officially signed with Tampa a few days ago. Very sad. Yeah, but apparently in Tampa, you're allowed to French kiss your kid. They don't mind. Can't believe Gronkowski signed with the WWE to be a wrestler. Yeah, I heard something about that. That's pretty interesting. I'm not into wrestling, so I could talk a little bit of football. Not really Canadian football much. By the way, next live stream, I'll have my camera up a little bit, so it won't be such a weird view. But I can't talk wrestling at all. And I kind of despise wrestling, so it's okay if you like it. You can like it if you want. My mom loved it. My sister loves it, but I just like that. I was 8 years old when I found out that it was fake, and that was it. I don't watch wrestling anymore. But I used to like it up till 8 years old. Half white, half native. Oh, okay. Don't worry. I'm getting Gisela. See, you're of my generation, so you are probably like me that believes spelling's important. I believe it's important. Something my father instilled in me about it kind of showing my intelligence by my spelling. So I've not that I don't make mistakes. It happens to everybody. But online, you can't be like that. People hate grammar Nazis, as we're called. So I learned a long time ago not to do anything about that. But I'm used to it now. People spelling, it surprises me on Twitter. And this goes like writers, like legit sports writers, are making more than one typing error, I guess, in a tweet. That means they're not proofreading it mostly. That's what I make mistakes, but I correct them, and then I hit enter or tweet or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, so I'm like that, but it doesn't matter. I figure it out now. I can decipher most of people's. Mostly, I can decipher what you guys are writing. Jeez, I don't know what's going on, but I'm losing people. Wrestling is keyfab. It's prefab, no? Prefab wrestling. Yeah, well, it's rehearsed. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Kfab? Is that what you mean? Oh my God, I'm down to 3. So when it gets down to 0, I'll just go and stop the video, the live stream. I don't know what. Listen, there's no hockey. I don't know what we're going to talk about. There's no hockey. So listen, there's 3 people in here. Now I'm going to leave it up to you 3. Give me something to talk about. Come on. There's no hockey. I don't know anything in hockey that's going on right now except what I told you already about the. They're going to make a decision kind of April 6th. So we're definitely suspended till April 6th, and then they're going to decide what they're going to do. Listen, the Olympics were canceled and postponed till next year. That should tell you something. Hey, I got one back. If they cancel the Olympics, all the money that city, where were they going to go? I don't remember. In Japan, right? Think of how much money was invested by Japan. Yeah, okay, it'll happen next year, but they're still going to lose a lot of that money because the delay is going to cost them tons. If they did that, then it's really serious. They know that it's not coming back in time to even do something in July. So Good luck. I don't think baseball is going to start. I don't know what they're going to do for baseball. I don't know what they're going to do for anything. Football might be okay by the time they would start their normal preseason and training camps. It might be okay to start getting underway. We'll see. But I would think, what are we in it? We're in it now 2 weeks. I would think we got minimum 3 more months to go. That's my hot take. It's not a hockey hot take, but it's a hot take for the situation. I really do. I believe we're going to be isolated like this for unfortunately, about 3 more months, and maybe longer. Listen, there's serious talk. I gotta have a mint. There's serious talk. Bloody hair in my mouth now. About it being 18 months. Like, it's not a joke. 18 months is on the table that we might be in some form of this kind of lockdown. I don't know how they'll do it. I don't know how small businesses can go 18 months without being open. I don't know how it can be done without a horrible cost economically. I don't see how they're going to do it. But it might be what needs to be done. So we'll see. Okay, so what's good news? Do we have any good news out there? If I lean in too much, well, maybe it's because I got such a huge screen. It just looks too big. Maybe that's what's so different is I'm on this huge screen. And it's not directly in front of me. It's kind of over, the picture's over to the side, which might help me keep looking in the camera instead of there. Could Toronto have to sell a good player to go under the cap roof next year? Excuse me, guys. I think not only Toronto next year. If the cap goes down, Gislain, because of the loss of money, if there's no playoffs especially, cap might go down more than one player and more than Toronto. I would think most teams then would need to sell off something. You know what that means then? I would see a lot of those fringe players, those fourth liners are gonna go. They're gonna be in the AHL because there's not going to be spots for them up here. They're not. They're going to have to get rid of people, or maybe it's the older players, the veterans, the guys like a Patrick Marleau, who's going to probably retire anyway. But guys of that ilk who are aging are not going to find jobs. So that's what's going to happen. Problem in Tokyo is the athlete housing would have to be transformed as a low-rent housing after the Olympics. But those people would have to wait another year before moving in. The delay is what's going to cost the money. Yes, they're going to get the Olympics. And don't forget, too, a lot of advertising. They spent a lot of money to have it happen. For it to be put off, there's a lot of that money that they spent that they can't get back. And they're going to have to respend to do the next year. So there's a lot of loss there. But there's no choice. Literally, if we let this virus go unchecked, like the Spanish flu basically was, right? That's why the Spanish flu killed so many people. It went unchecked. There was no way to, they don't have the technology we have today. They didn't have the pre-knowledge of it like some countries have had. I think everybody, they knew this was going to happen for a long time. They didn't have any way really to fight it in ways we can. And that's why it killed so much. So this thing went unchecked. Boom. It doesn't matter. Let's keep going out. Keep doing that. Spread it through the community. It's hard to say how many people could die. It's hard to say. When I said 500 million, it could be 1 billion. It could be this deadly. So, I mean, if all 7 billion people in the world caught it, because that's what would happen eventually. If we let it go where, we're not going to stay home. We're not going to do this kind of quarantining. Eventually, everybody in the world would have had it. And it could kill a lot of people. So Yeah, just look at, that's right. Just look to Spain and Italy. Spain not as bad as Italy, but bad. Italy overwhelming their health system. In the USA, it's about to overwhelm their health system. At the rate that you see the numbers going up for the US, those people will need to be hospitalized. Not all of them, obviously, but a certain percentage of them are going to need to be hospitalized. They say the hospitalization rate is about 20%. So let's just say 100 million people in the US contract this disease. 20 million people need to be hospitalized. And the rate is going because they're kind of let it go too long before they started to keep it in check. And if he lets them go Easter Sunday and start to go back to normal, and it goes unchecked from there, that 20 million will be in the hospital roughly, mostly the same, in the same window, and their system is going to collapse. Here in Canada, because of the leadership that we do have, and it's not just Trudeau, I do not like our premier in Quebec, Francois Legault. But, and I know it's for a sneaky reason, I know it's because he's going to use this to get reelected. He's doing a good job. Hard to say, I hate to say it, but he's doing a good job, and we're taking the steps needed that we will keep those numbers down as much as possible. They won't get into the insane numbers. They'll get high. We had almost 400 yesterday, probably that number today, maybe 500 today. But that's because testing is going on, and we knew those people were sick, that they were sick like that. So how come every time I talk about COVID, numbers go down? I can see how many people are here. It's down to 3 again. I'm not entertaining enough today. What do I got to do? So, guys, give me some ideas. What do you want to see me do that's entertaining more than this back and forth talk? Am I just babbling too long? Is that what it is? Okay, wait, Joe, I don't get that. Okay, Joe's saying he's been having to just play video games with this virus and stuff. He needs a diversion. He says he needs Louis LeBlanc. But why? What's about Louis LeBlanc? Oh, by the way, they're not sure what they're going to be doing with the draft and all that. And the draft is supposed to be here. So we lost the draft. I was going to go to the draft. It's not going to happen. The draft will happen, but it won't happen publicly. I do hope they televise what they're doing, so at least, we can watch it. While it won't be exciting, not that draft's exciting anyway, but I hope they televise it so we can watch it. She's like, yeah, so I read that. Yeah, apparently wrestling is still out there doing stuff. No people in the stands, but still, well, I guess these guys, if they quarantined all together, and they know where their movements are, and they at least where the guy's been, so he's safe or not. They could do their stuff. It's fake anyway. I guess if one of the wrestlers dies, they'll be saying, "Wow, this shit just got real." Okay, not a good joke. Hey, that's interesting. Joe says apparently the guy who shot the puck from center ice, excuse me, guys, I have a mint in my mouth, here in Montreal, still hasn't been paid his 50 grand. That sucks. That's months ago. When was that? It was before Christmas, I think. Wasn't it in December? No, Joe, that's not unfortunate. That's downright evil almost. I mean, that's bad. They got all that publicity for doing that stunt. The guy wins the 50,000. People love that shit. That video got passed around. I mean, that's just publicity for the team. That's amazing. And they don't pay the guy. 3 months ago. Wow. How did you know that? Is he out there complaining about it? Because I'm wondering, I was just thinking maybe there's once he won, they signed a contract with him and it tells him when he's going to get paid. So if it's just like somebody saying, oh, I know this guy knows that guy. He still hasn't been paid yet, but he doesn't know the details of why, but there are details. It could be something. Jeff Molson and Mark Bergevin are secretly James Bond villains. Well, I'll tell you what, Mark Bergevin's got the guns for it. That guy's freaking he's ripped. Really, well, okay, the thing I would look first, and I'm not saying it's not a legit. When I see stuff like that, I've learned to look at where it's coming from, just to make sure it's a legit enough source. Some sources are more legit than others, and then there's some that are just out and out. I wouldn't believe it if they told me my name. I wouldn't believe them. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I learn a lot of things sometimes from articles that pop up like that. You're just scrolling through stuff and, oh, look at that. And you learn something. So it's cool. Well, we might cut this at an hour since we're back to 6. All right. Every time it goes down and then I see, okay, we're near an hour, maybe I'll cut it. Then people start coming in, which is good. I'm glad. So who's here besides me and Joe? Joe, and Gislaine just sitting here talking to each other. Who else is in here? Gislaine had drafting team are known for their health habit and their big muscle. It's true because Trevor Timmins is pretty ripped too. Am I wrong about that? Trevor Timmins is ripped, and Jeff Molson too. I think they must all work out together. Maybe that's their trip. They all work out together. They talk about what's going on. Might be their thing. Hey, listen, not bad for the two guys to be butting around with a millionaire like that. Billionaire. Molson must be a billionaire. Millionaire is not enough to own a hockey team. You got to be a billionaire to own a sports team now. I think we all need some of Jonathan Drouin in our life right now. There's something we all need. You know, it's funny. It's not funny, I guess, really, but he was like on the verge of coming back when they canceled another game or two, and he would have been back and played the last 10 games or so. How many games? There was 11 games left. Actually, we were at 71 games. We were amongst the teams that had played the most games. Too bad their players are on smaller size in Montreal. You know, I was looking at the roster the other day. I was doing the report card video, and it's something I looked up. We're not overly small, but it depends on what you call small. We have quite a bunch of 6-footers, 6'1". But we don't have the guys like we have one. What's his name? Shea Weber. There's only a 6'4" or something like that. But we're not overly small. I don't think we're overly small. I think it's just something that, in general, I think over the years we've had some really good small players. So Montreal's not afraid to have a small player who has talent. And I think this is where it all comes from, because I don't think we're overly small. Is everybody 6'4" and up? No. But once you're 6'1" or even 6 feet and over, you're good. I think anyway. So don't forget, you must be talking to Joe. I don't know. I can easily forget Shane Churla. I don't know. Not a lot of people watch my hockey card video, but if you're interested in that, for you old guys, I just put out a hockey card video. What I did was, you can see them behind me. I don't know if you look behind me, you see the picture of Frank Mahovlich. So down here, where my finger is there, that's all my boxes of hockey cards that survived the fire. I probably lost maybe a little bit more than that. And you can see some of the boxes, they're water stained. But these survived. They were like in the center of everything. So I got to them before they got soaked. I was able to get in there and One of the first things I took out. And all the outside boxes were all fucked. But these were still good. And the cards inside are still good. They're sticking together a little bit, but I mean, it's 92, 93 the last time I bought cards. So that's how many years they're in there. Anyway, so I took 3 boxes. I just made sure they were hockey cards. And I just grabbed in the video, okay, I'll take some cards. And then I went through what I had and talked about whatever I could. If I couldn't, I went through, I just, whatever. But if I could say something about the guy, that's what I did. So I think that's what I'm going to do for I'm going to do that again. I enjoyed that. It was like not set up. So I didn't have to go through a bunch of cards. Oh, I'll do this and that. This was really, what's the word I'm looking for? Spur of the moment. It's not spur of the moment. It's not the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. And I like that. So I'm going to do that again. But the funny thing is, the first box I pulled, I went to see. I wrote what they were, but I've gone through different. I've moved things around, and just to make sure it's what was written there, I just pulled out a card. Pulled out Guy Lafleur, my favorite hockey player of all time. So I kind of thought, wow. That's like, is that Noman? Like, what is that? I pulled out Guy Lafleur, like, woof. And then the video didn't really, I think it's got like 35 views, not very big. But if you haven't seen it, and you're older guys, and you remember these guys like I do, because they're from the early 90s. These cards are all from the early 90s. I haven't collected since, I think, 93. So, yeah, check it out. And what's that noise? Somebody out in the hallway making noise? Ooh, it could be like a horror movie. Is anybody behind me? So yeah, check out the video, and you might enjoy it. It's a little long, but I mean, I'll go through 3 different boxes, 3 different makes of cards, and yeah, a couple of times I pulled out, just a little bit because I didn't want to take too much time, and I pulled out in 2 different boxes. I pulled out like 3 of the same guys. It was really funny. Okay. Fun fact, Trevor Timmins used to be a bodybuilder. Oh, is that why? That's what it is. And look, Bergevin is an athlete. I mean, he was a hockey player, so that's what it is. I didn't realize that. I have another. Sorry, guys, but I haven't eaten supper. I'm having one of those days. I should explain this. This is really funny. If you saw my video I just put out in Max Domi, no writing on it, no text, because obviously I'm uploading on YouTube. And I use TubeBuddy, which if you watch my videos for a long time, I've advertised for them. I'm an affiliate. But about a month and a half, 2 months ago, it started to slow down. And on my laptop, it started to slow down. And then on this computer, it's either the computer, because it's gotten worse. It's taking me like an hour to do a 5-minute. It would take me 5 minutes to make this thumbnail. No, stop, Peanut. It's taking me an hour. It's so slow. You want to just shoot yourself in the head. So there's no writing on that. And I don't know why I was going to talk about that. I forgot. Damn it. What were we talking about? Who are you guys? What am I doing? Yeah, that happens to me. It's one of those nights. I've been medicating myself. I think actually my back beds, they take 3 hours to kick in. So, and I've been having spasms because I gained a little weight and not working out. My back is not as strong as it used to be. So the spasms kick in, and I've been getting that for the last 5-6 weeks. So I was walking the dog earlier, and that happened in my walk. So I took them, but I never know when they're going to kick in. I took them at 5. So look, it's 8:34. I think it was 5:13 when I took them. 3 hours and 20 minutes. Imagine taking something for pain that takes 3 hours. You have 3 hours to kick in, so you can't really. Oh no! Oh, it happened. Now you got to wait 3 hours for that to kick in. But they are good. So it's weird. And it's not just those. Other pain meds do that, and then other ones kick in like that. So, but these are the ones that are prescribed to me. I no longer. Well, what do you got? Oh, that's good for pain. Give me some. I'll take them. when I have pain. But now I have what I've been prescribed to. So, and it's non-narcotic, by the way. It still fucks you up, but it's not narcotic, which is why I love these things, because they're non-narcotic. Joe has a man crush on Bergevin. No, it's not weird to be gay. Don't worry about that. It's okay. So now we know Joe's girlfriend is probably really his boyfriend. Just bugging you, Joe. No, you know what? Doesn't matter if you're a guy, a handsome guy, whatever, is you're allowed to think he's handsome, you know. And everybody's tastes are different. A guy I would say, oh, that's a handsome guy. You might go like, oh, he's ugly. So, but hey, we're allowed. Hey, listen, we all have it. We all have that in our, you know, people. The reason people are gay is not because, oh, I like guys because they're nicer to hang around with. Or I'm gonna start having sex with guys. It's not how it works. You're born that way. It's in the brain. There are people that emotionally, you know, from things that could happen in their life when they're really, really young. I mean, that could happen, I guess. But in general, it's that they've discovered there's a part of the brain that's a little bit that's missing that is for that. And depending on how much is missing, depending on whether you're bisexual or homosexual. So it's okay, Joe. Don't worry about it. I don't even know why I started talking about this part in the brain. But it's not a choice. It's not like gay people say, well, I want to be gay. Well, maybe some do that, but it's not a choice. They don't have a choice. So anybody who is on that thing where, well, it's a choice and they can stop being gay. No, they can't stop being gay. Just like you can't start being gay. Think about it that way. If they can stop sucking those things, then you should be able to start sucking on them. So why don't you start? I'm not accusing anybody here of being anti-gay. Sorry about that. I'm just riffing. Hey, NHL Hockey News is 3 subs away from 200. If anybody is in here, there's only 6 of us, buddy, that hasn't gone over there and subscribed, please do that. NHL Hockey News, he's right there. You can click on him and go to his channel. They come right back, though. But, yeah, if you haven't already, he just needs 3 more to 200. If anybody's in here who hasn't gone, please go help him out. I'd really appreciate that. I've already done it, so I even get the notifications. So when he puts out a video, I get notifications because I do that. I support people who support me for sure. I support them back. You gotta give if you expect to get. Gislain, Armia is 6'3". I saw where he was actually 6'4", but okay. Lehkonen is 6'2", Tatar 5'10". I knew that. Gallagher 5'9", Danault 6'1", Drouin 6 feet, Byron 5'9", Domi 5'9", Caulfield 5'7". There was somebody I was surprised. Jake Evans is 6'1". That's surprising. I didn't realize he was that big. And there's big guys coming up. We don't need a team full of big guys. We need a team that has enough big guys, but we need the talent level. So a guy like Cole Caulfield at 5'7", his talent level is sky high. You want him on the team, and he can play on this team. Henri Richard, the pocket rocket who just passed away recently. I mean, there's your proof that it can be done. He was 5'7", and he didn't have the shot that Caulfield has, and he was a great hockey player. If you want to know a little bit more about him, if you don't, I've got a video about it. I did a poem video. I thought it was pretty good. And, yeah, go check that one out. It's in the library, and if you're not sure, there's a playlist. It's poetry, and just go in there. All my poetry's in there. I got to write something. I haven't written it. I didn't do anything for 3 days. I did nothing about this channel because I used to take time. I have taken time off, but I didn't take time off. I would start working on videos and think about it. I discovered that's not taking time off. So when I do take time off, when I say I'm taking time off, I don't look at what the stats are. I don't pay attention to it. Is important for the brain. I don't have much left. I burnt away too many brain cells, but what little is left up there, I gotta keep. Who would I have as backup next season? Would I keep Lindgren or call up Primo or sign a free agent, maybe Halak? There's a lot of talk about Halak. I don't know Carey Price, so I can't say for this, but I would check with Carey Price first to make sure that he'd be okay to have Halak as the backup. And that's the guy I would sign if he could. I think he'd be a really good backup. Problem is with Halak now is just age. He's a year or two older than Carey Price, so he's getting into his mid-30s. If he still has it, though, definitely if we could sign Halak to a decent price contract, there's the way to go. Other than that, I'd give Lindgren the shot, and I think they were going to before the season was canceled. I think he was going to get regular rotation, like every second game, and you got to see what he can do. But I don't think Lindgren is the answer. I don't see it. If you could sign Halak over Lindgren, I would do the Halak thing because really, it's not to say we won't need a backup once Primo is here and taking over, but really Primo is going to be the backup probably in 2 years, 3 at the most. So you only need Halak for 1, maybe 2 years. That's it. But yeah, there's a guy you could put in nets and be confident that he's going to do a good job, right? Plus, you never know that having Halak back here might even spur Carey Price to do just a little bit better every game that he plays, right? Because it's that old rivalry, that old competition they had. So you never know. It could be really good. But, yeah, I don't know about Lindgren. I would give him an opportunity. If you don't sign a guy like Halak and you don't really bring in anybody, you've got to give Lindgren the opportunity. But I don't know that I would be comfortable going into training camp thinking, well, Lindgren will be our backup. I don't know if he's good enough. But then again, the same token, I don't know if he's not. He's kind of on the bubble there, right? He shows flashes of being really good and then flashes of being kind of what? So. But I give him the shot. I think you got to give Lindgren the shot. He's been in the system a few years now. I think he should be given a shot. Sometimes when I watch the Habs games at my girlfriend's house, I sometimes make some flirty comments towards some of the players. When she hears me do that, she's like, hey, some girls like that. But yeah, most girls will do that. Hey. But it's a guy's thing. Doesn't she know it's a guy's thing to say that, to make those kind of comments? At least amongst when you're watching with your friends. I don't know about with your girlfriend, though. I don't know if I would do that. But with your friends, we make those kind of jokes. The best backup was Devin Dubnyk. We got him, but we let him go. But he didn't provide the kind of goaltending that he's providing the Minnesota Wild when he was here. Because if he did, that was at a time when we needed that, and he didn't do it. So I don't know if he was the best backup when he was here, but he's no longer a backup, I would think. He is definitely a starter. Ghislain Halak was good too. Oh, sorry. I guess the cursor is there in the line. It looks like he wrote good top. Sorry. Halak was good too, but playing Carey Price head back in the days. I don't understand what you wrote. I know it's all English words, and it's not a commentary on you. It may be a commentary on me because, like I said, my pills are kicking in. And I find lately, like in the last couple of weeks, maybe it's the coronavirus since that's been started. They kick in hard. Like right now, I'm not sure if I'm sitting on my chair or there are chairs there or not at all. I feel it, but I don't feel the pressure of it really. I'm kind of floating around. And 5 minutes ago, it really kicked in. So sorry, guys, but you got me for another 15 minutes of maybe being crazy. So we'll have to see what happens. Good time for people to come into the room and start talking. Maybe I should scroll down and see what you guys are saying. Hey, NHL, did I get you 2 more? Wow. Hey, listen, I don't know if there's anybody still here. There's only 4 people in here. I doubt anybody. But hey, that's awesome, buddy. That's awesome. You just keep building. It's a slow grind. It was a slow grind for me, just the same. Don't worry about it. You'll get there. You'll get there, buddy. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop, and don't listen to people who tell you bad things. Like just before I came on here, I posted the live stream a little bit earlier on Facebook in a bunch of groups. Somebody went in there and go, this guy's a fucking joke, talking about me. And I did answer him but I deleted it right away, realizing this is not the right thing. I said, fuck you too, buddy. But point is, what I did right away after that, when I realized I was in a rush mood trying to get everything done to get on here, I went and I just, I blocked him. And then I deleted my comment because you don't really want people to see that. But point being is, don't listen to people. There's too many trolls out there, and they'll get in your head and make you question yourself, and don't do that. And even today, this guy, for 10 seconds, I questioned myself. I know I'm on a bit of a bad roll right now. I get that. It's my own personal criticism. I'm not totally happy with my videos. My live streams are not really performing that well, but that's because my videos are, I'm sure it's because my videos aren't, I'm right about it. I'm trying to find a way to solve that problem without changing anything. Because I'm not going to do one of these, put on a show, come out with 2 puppets and talk. I'm not going to do something crazy or sing and dance. I'm not going to do that. I am who I am, and that's who it's going to be. But yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, it's a hard grind. It took me, when I got my first 100, I got to 95. When I hit 95, it started to roll. By the next day, I think I was at 121. Which is the number I like. That's why I remember it. And it just started to roll. There were a couple of points where I hit snags, but they were short-lived, and it started to roll. Then it hit 800. At 800, it slowed down immensely. And that coincided with the end of the free agent period, so the end of July. And then it took an agonizing, that would be 9 months, so 10, 11, 12, 5 months to get to the last 200. So if you're looking at my numbers, or John from Hot Take Hockey, who's got tons more than me, because his channel is open to all teams. Mine's not really. Yes, all teams are welcome, but it's not going to be attractive to all teams. Have fan bases. So it takes a long time, but you get there. So like, even look at John too. John probably got to 1,000 a lot easier. But if you're looking at my channel and going, oh look, he's got 1,020. I got to 121, 1,021, but then it dropped down, and I'm starting to get back up. Whatever. But it was a long grind, way longer than I thought. And the point is, though, I never listened to trolls. I learned pretty quickly to not even engage with them at all. Just flush them out of the way, however you have to, and keep going, buddy. You'll hit that 200, and before you know it, you'll be at 500, and you'll be at 1,000, and then you don't have to worry about it. Once you get monetized, you don't have to worry about those numbers anymore. They'll come. They'll come just like they did before, but the only difference is, before you worried about getting them. Afterward, you don't really have to as much. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Joe heard a pretty sad story about Laurent Dauphin. That's the guy we got in one of the trades at the deadline, I'm pretty sure. On the day that the NHL was canceled, he was actually called up in the morning. Oh, my God. We called him up? Oh, isn't that sad? Yeah. So they called him up that morning that the season got canceled, so that Thursday. And his dream was to play for the Habs because he's from Montreal or from Quebec, and he's a UFA next season, and they're probably not going to sign him. That's sad. Listen, if they were going to call, if they called him up, it doesn't mean that they won't next season. Next season is going to be pretty similar to this season, unless they really land something that we're not expecting in the form of a defenseman, like a real stud superstar kind of defenseman. And they're going to have to put somebody up front somewhere who can really score goals. We're going to need, like a Dino Ciccarelli, Mike Gartner, goal scorer kind of guy. That's what he's there for. That's what he does. Yeah. If we can get one of those kind of guys and that defenseman, we could have a really good season. Otherwise, we're going to have a very similar season to this. They held Ghislaine's comment for saying shit. Oh, yeah, right straight off the bat. Are you back already? So come up here. What do you want from me? You get me all full of your fur. You're going to have to wait till I'm off. You might have to wait till I'm off. McNiven is really good on some days and really bad on others. Not so. It depends on how he feels. So you can't put too much charge on this guy. Yeah, well, if McNiven was that kind of talent, they wouldn't have had him in the ECHL. That's why I've never talked about him. There's a lot of people put out videos about McNiven, and they put him down, and he should be up. He's better than this and that. He's not. He had a good, solid stretch. That doesn't mean that he's the answer here. And yeah, they know him. He's been in the system for a few years, I think. So 10 years ago, better Halak was playing Price. Confidence went down, so we have to let Halak go because of Price. Can Price live now with Halak? Your guest as good as mine. Yeah, listen, that's something I was saying, that there's two heads could butt together. But the thing is, whatever, if something does happen to Price, then you feel a lot more confident with a guy like Halak in net. That's one thing that I'd like to see, because if something happens to Price right now, we got no answer to that. None. Like if he's out for 20 games, if we're promising like the season's great, we're going good, that's going to be over. So NHL, you got your 200. It can't be that 3 people actually went over and did it. All right. Whoever did that, if you're still in the room, thank you from NHL Hockey News and myself. I really appreciate that you went and subscribed over there. Awesome, buddy. You got 200. You've been chasing that for a little bit. You hit the number, and then you're off to the next one. Next number for me was I was anxious for was 50 more, 250, and then I think I was looking at 500 after 250. But it was really going fast. It might happen for you too. I'm not saying it won't. It was going so fast. Like I think I was averaging at that time 13 or 14 a day, which might not seem like a lot, but when you're a small channel like I was, obviously, it's humongous. And then it just died off. So I don't know. It kind of died off in a conjunction with YouTube kind of wanting us to pay to get more exposure. So they stopped doing as much suggesting of our videos unless we paid premium, and then our video would be at the top, and that, next up would be ours. So if someone came in and watched one of your videos, you'd have yours in the next up, and it would put it in next up for other videos that people would be watching that might be wanting to see something like what your video would be about. So yeah, that's how it works. The big guy always wins. Okay, what am I missing here now? Ghislaine, shit, I need to put more punctuation in my message. Halak is good, maybe too good. Price don't like it to be challenged. Price don't like to be challenged. Or as number one goalie by Halak. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read it. Sorry. Don't. It's not a. I'm having my pills are drinking. I'm having trouble right now. Yeah, we got 5 minutes to go. I'm going to just make it. Are they kicking hard these days, man? Unbelievable. I'm not complaining because when I'm done, I'm going to have supper. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to watch a movie or something. I'm going to enjoy that a lot. So I'm not complaining. I couldn't decipher that. Sorry. Try again. No, Halak is good, maybe too good. Price doesn't like to be challenged as number one goalie by Halak. That's why they traded 10 years ago. I don't know if that's the reason why they traded him, but when you have two number one goalies, which is clearly what they had, you're not going to have a number one goalie as a backup goalie. So you got two number ones. You got to decide which one you're keeping, and then one goes to trade for a prospect, a pick, or something like that, or even a player. And that's what they did. They traded. They decided on price. And they said, okay, we're going to trade Halak. Because Halak clearly at the time was a number one goalie. It's just that we had two of them. So to me, that's the reason why Halak got traded. So no, I don't think I think Price would encourage being challenged as number one goalie. He'd play even better. Joe saying it's really sad that AHL was canceled completely because Laval was dominating before it happened. Dauphin and Jeff Palavs were beasting through everybody. Yeah, listen, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of stories out there like that, how sad it is that this happened. But, and then there's going to be a lot of other stories about how sad it is that it happened. So you're going to see there's going to be all kinds of stuff that comes out after. Plus, in 9 months, once it's lifted, actually 9 months from this week, if you're into that kind of thing to say, oh, well, let me see if that really happened, remember, and then go look at no, it's the opposite of obituaries. The shower, what do they call those for girls? Anyway, for babies. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, I'm getting to the point where I can't do this. I can't concentrate enough to be talking about things that I might go off on something else, and I can't keep it. Sorry, this usually doesn't happen, but at least it's right at the end. We're at an hour and 27 minutes. So I'm going to start talking about things and then going off into something else. And you guys are going to think I'm nuts. So instead of having that happen, because you may already think I'm nuts, I don't know. I'm gonna say good night. Good night, Gisela. Good night, NHL. Good night, Joe. Good night, anybody else that's still here. I think you're the only three that are still here. Everybody that was in the room before, thank you. Everybody that's been in, even if you haven't talked and you were just here, thank you. And have a great one, guys. And check out my Max Domi video if you haven't already. It just came out just before this live stream, so check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to get back into the groove of doing videos, and I don't know, having problems. Don't know what it is. I'll work it out. So thanks, everybody. Good night and peace out, brothers.